Hey, I think I'm upside down here. Oh, hello. Ooh. Hi. How are you? So I'm here waiting for Nova to join the videos. We're going to talk about what I do, and we're going to talk about something that she's interested in. Why? Why today? Today's my birthday. All right, so once Nova gets on, Nova, where are you? All right, once I find her, then we'll have a conversation on my birthday. So I just gotta find her now. So, yes, it's my birthday. I am 38 years old. I have no problem telling people how old I am. I think it's exciting, actually. It's great. 38. I've lived a really amazing life. And there's so much. Oh, there she is. 1 second. She's coming on any second now. And there you are.
Hi, honey.
Hi. Okay. So I was just telling everyone it's my birthday today.
Can I sing a happy birthday song to you?
Please. Oh my God.
Happy birthday to you. We're so glad you're alive. You're a gift to this earth. Bless the day of your birth. Happy birthday to you. We're so glad you're alive. You're a gift to this earth. Bless the day of your birth.
Yay.
I'm so glad you were born.
Oh, you. Past weekend, I got to recreate the experience that really bonded us, which is body sex, which is not one of the I was going to talk about, but yeah, that continues to live on, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so here's our agenda. So two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious what my friends think about what I do. So I'd love to hear how you view things. How do you view Cuddlist from your side of the woods?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I think Cuddlist, being a Cuddlist and offering this as a service is so important because as a society, we're so touch deprived. And I feel like it's such a valuable service to offer people. And I talk about it a lot. I actually am interested in becoming a Cuddlist because I know how important cuddling is. And it's because of your videos. I knew about it, and then I knew that you became a Cuddlist, but watching your videos, and it's just like hearing how much more it is than just like cuddling somebody. You know what I mean? Like there's so much depth that goes into it and stuff. It really was like, wow, like I just know this is something that I'm supposed to do. And so I actually talked with another friend of mine that's a Cuddlist, and I was like, I don't have a space to do it like you do, like Janet does. And she was like, oh, I do it this way. And so I'm like, oh, so there's like a way I can still do this even if I can't do it at home and whatever. So I'm really interested in doing it. I think it's just such a important thing to do. It's just so important. There's so many people. And I mean, actually, I was just talking to somebody a few days ago, a guy in Oregon that was talking about how, he hadn't dated in a while and how he, you know, was wanting to date and things like that, whatever. And I was like, and he was talking about how, he misses touching and stuff. And I was like, have you, are you familiar with any Cuddlists there? Like, that would be so good for you. I talk about Cuddlists all the time with people because I think it's such an important thing. And I guess there's only one other Cuddlist up here in Austin, which is like crazy to me because Austin is so, you can think of three. Okay. Because I was like, but I'm surprised there aren't more. Like I'm thinking Austin, there would be like so many. So I'm like, well, there's still space for another person to come in and do that. So I'm really excited about it.
There's a lot of people in the training. And
Okay.
the funny thing is, though, is not everyone that's trained gets in.
Oh, okay.
There's a standard. Like there's expectations,
Wonderful.
and you have to have some of your shit together.
Yeah.
I mean, like good communication skills, asking for what you want, able to say no, having good boundaries, having worked through that kind of stuff. So, I've been on the side of seeing people go through the training, do all the work, and then
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
Hard.
Well, and I mean, as a person that would potentially want to be a client of a Cuddlist, it's good to know that there are those standards. I think it's good to know that not just everybody who goes through the training, makes the cut. So that's impressive to me.
Yeah, and of course, encourage everyone want to be a cuddlist, try it out, like
Yeah.
experience it, so that like
Yeah.
I can do this or not. That's
Yeah.
the high standard we have. Yay!
Yeah.
So I'd love to see you
Love.
do this, of course. Yay! We'll talk about
Yeah.
now. I want to talk about this conscious relationships thing. I'd like to know more.
Yeah.
So tell me what that means.
Well, okay. So my son's dad and I were together for 3.5 years, and we split up. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, like, I really did this whole, getting a good shot at a relationship thing, and it just wasn't working. So I took a break from relationship stuff, and I was single and unavailable for 8 years. And so, because I knew that there were patterns and stuff that, like, I had deep rooted patterns, and I spent that 8 years focusing on myself, focusing on my kids, focusing on my life, and I like upgraded or whatever, up leveled, whatever you want to say, just like really became conscious in all areas of my life. Um, and I read a lot of stuff about relationship stuff, but really you have to do to practice it to really get it. Like, there's only so much you can put in your head. So, yeah, so I've just been on this journey since October of really wanting to break out those patterns and see them. I feel like I use this analogy that it felt like I was like went down into the basement and I'm like bumbling around. It's dark and I'm tripping over stuff and I don't even know like what's going on in there. And then I was working with a sexuality power coach, and she helped me get clear about some of these patterns. And I started doing these programs also. And it was just like all of a sudden somebody flipped on the light and they were like, and then I was like, oh, that's what I've been working with. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even see it before. Now I can. A lot of shadow stuff, I think, there's a lot of shadow stuff around what's acceptable and all of that, that we kind of shove out of the way. And so I've been in, you know, really dived into that journey and had, one very short relationship, and then like a 6-month long relationship. And then coming out of that with so much clarity around my own consciousness, like so much work that I did over that time. And now I think for me now, consciousness is just about like really being able to be present in every moment and honest with myself about what I'm feeling and be able to authentically relate with people, including myself. Just be really able to be authentic.
I wonder if we could be really, really honest with
Yeah.
people that we meet and we want to like date or like just even hang out with. Like, we could honestly say like, hey, this relationship, not sure it's gonna last forever, but I'm sure gonna learn a lot. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
help me see things that maybe I haven't seen before, and everyone consents when you get on board to growing together.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like that looks like that's hard. I mean, that's hard to kind of assume. Like people think, yeah, to like sense growth of being
Mm-hmm.
conscious, being really.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think the hardest thing for me has been, having those tough conversations. And that was something that I was able to really experience in this last relationship I was in. I was able to have those tough conversations and be honest and ask for what I wanted. That was, I was working with this coach the whole time, so she was really helping me step into all of that. And that stuff's hard. Like I didn't even know how to ask for what I wanted because I didn't even know what I wanted, right? Like I didn't even know. I didn't allow myself to know what I wanted. And then it was like, okay, now I know what I want. And then I ask for it. And then it's like, oh, but you also have to learn how to receive it, And then it's like,
Uh,
oh, right. Like being able to open up and actually receive that, allow yourself to receive it is a whole nother, whole nother thing. So it's been really,
and that's the work of cuddlists. I mean,
mm,
you know what I mean? It's
feel
the
that. Yeah.
people come thinking, oh, I'm just gonna cuddle, and we're like, well, we're not just cuddling professionals. It's about
Yeah.
you asking what you want, feeling
Yeah.
into that vulnerability.
Yeah.
It's there,
Yeah.
and knowing
Yeah.
the nice thing about cuddlists is that we can. There's the stakes aren't high, you know. Like there's no pressure and there's no expectations, and you can fumble and mess it up and start over. Let's press the reset button. Let's try this again, you know?
Yes, I love
Amazing.
that.
And like learn to do that, and then learn to receive
Mm-hmm.
to receive that care. That's all
Yeah,
about
right.
you.
And I think that we like open up like our like what am I trying to say? Like
Huh?
how much we can receive. You know what I mean? Like we open up and open up and we can hold more and more. And then we take that into our life, right? And then we're able to allow, like receive more in other ways in our life. And we're able to do that. I did a conscious relatings game thing with a group of strangers, like 40 strangers, a few weeks ago. And it was such a deepening process because it's easy for me to connect with people that I know. Like I can really deeply connect with people that I know and love, but connecting with strangers, and I didn't know anybody in there, and that was incredibly brave of me. Because I usually will opt out of places if I don't know anybody, but I just really wanted to do this. And so I went in, and it was really, I mean, it just opened me up and deepened me so much. And now it's like strangers on the street. I'm like, you're a person like me, like we like being in a room full of, all these amazing conscious strangers, really opened me up like, oh my gosh, there's like you are the same as me, and every person on the street is the same as me. We all have fears, we all have things that make us feel powerful, things that all of this stuff. And it's just, yeah, the way we're able to take that into our
It's what if we weren't strangers? Like I never
mm,
with anybody, like especially my clients. When they walk in, I've known them my whole life. Like someone like that, and they feel it. They're like, home. I go, I know you're home.
I
Yeah,
feel that. I
that's
think people
amazing.
feel like that with me. I hear that kind of thing a lot, that people feel like at home with me. Like if we, when we're able to hold space and be open and relatable to people, that they feel really comfortable. And that's why, like when I work with clients, like that's how they feel, is like that. Yeah.
Like you know
I
them
love that.
already, and
Yeah.
they.
Yeah. I'm gonna play with that a little bit more, because like when people that I don't know contact me on Facebook for, anything, I'm fine. But like in person on the street, I think of people as strangers. So yeah, I'm
That's
gonna feel into that a little more. Thank you for that blessing.
yeah. Well, that's our work. That's what Cuddlist work is. I mean, that's it. Like everything I've said, it's
Yeah.
very, very conscious. It's like we get to practice being in a relationship for 1 hour, and
Yeah.
and the stakes are not high, but the expectation.
Yeah.
It's like there's no expectation, there's no pressure, and all of that. But it's that conscious. Like we're
Yeah.
here to do that.
So one of the things too, I've been doing these. I'm doing a live video challenge right now for 30 days. Do a live video every day. And one of the things that somebody was talking about was that one of the biggest things that happened for her through the last challenge that she did was that she got more comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that has just like rang out so much for me. And I know that's something that I've thought about before at some point, but then just kind of, went on to other things in life. And so I like am coming back to that, and I'm thinking about how that fits in with this too. Like people that maybe are drawn toward cuddlists, but they're afraid of being uncomfortable, right? So they don't do it. Maybe they don't sign up, or because it can be like I feel like if we need a cuddlist, it's because they're like we haven't engaged in that before, right? As much as and so um like being able to be okay with that, it could be uncomfortable, like being able to feel into that discomfort, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's yeah.
I would
I feel like
say um, that's especially true for the Cuddlist.
oh, I'm sure.
What I love about what Madeline teaches, that the director teaches us, is that your comfortability with uncomfortableness, how big
Mm-hmm.
that is, will allow the client to
Yeah.
feel safe Like, I mean, the bigger the space, the more, like, if I'm very uncomfortable, then it's even
Mm-hmm.
worse for them. Like, of course they feel that. But like, if I can expand my space, then yeah,
Yeah.
that more quickly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel that so much. I can like relate to that in the sense that like there's been times when I'm like doing women's circles or something where there's like something happens and I can either just like roll with it gracefully, just like, oh, and like acknowledge like, a hiccup or, whatever. And then just like keep, come back into that place of peace and then, keep moving forward. And I think that that's what makes us space holders, right? Is that we're able to notice those moments and acknowledge them and then come back to holding that comfortable space for people
Yeah.
gracefully. I was what I was trying to get at was grace, like how gracefully we're able to roll back into the space.
All right. I think I'm gonna cut it off here. We can keep talking probably later, but
Oh, I could talk with you forever.
here on my birthday, even though we're not in the same city, we will
I
connect
know.
enough.
I was almost like I was so close. I was down in San Marcos today, so I was so
Getting
close to you. So close.
kisses. Love
Bye,
you.
precious. Love you.
See you.
Can I just take a moment and thank everybody that came on the call and was listening? I'm really grateful to be connected with you. Thank you. Oh, Angelique.